The way I write about the world has much to do with the places I've traveled and the people I've shared life experiences with while traveling. It goes without saying that in the near future, this idea of world territorial divisions and world borders will cease to exist. However, it is inevitable that our global future is a united world without borders. This old paradigm of invisible lines will soon be a thing of the past. I realize this makes patriots of all nations immensely uncomfortable, and it can even be mind-blowing to many that can't see the near future. But it will happen, and it'll happen faster than you think. Peter Diamandis says it best: language, currency, and residency are rapidly being disrupted and dematerialized by technology. Mr. Diamandis' article that you can read below has some great insight on the matter, and it's worth paying attention to. Diamandis is the cutting edge of what is ahead of all of us. He is the co-founder of the XPRIZE, COVAX, and the Human Longevity Company, just to name a few. If anyone is leading the way, it's Mr. Diamandis. This conversation matters because less than 37% of Americans hold passports. This means that a typical American citizen has only an American perspective of the world. Most Americans have no real-world travel exposure, which can be detrimental to having a real and honest view of humanity and how we, as a species, can help improve our global circumstances. If one has no world travel, then you are solely reliant on what the media and the universities feed you. This does not make for a diverse perspective. What does this all mean as it pertains to shifting viewpoint from having an American understanding of the world to having a global opinion of the world? Well, it means that for those individuals that have a mindset that one nation rules all or that one type of nationality rules all, well, they will be left out of the conversation because those of us that evolved past the national borders idea will be free to explore a global earth with open borders to all. The more you embrace a borderless world, the more you will be open to the possibilities of solving the illusion of impossible problems. Here are 3 ways of thinking that can help you prepare for the foreseeable future of open borders. Idea number 1. In essence, we are a globalized Earth, as I write. Our interconnectivity is exponentially increasing, which means that Americans don't have much of an option but to embrace the speed of change and prepare for the open borders idea. For this, I'd recommend the book A Whole New Mind by Daniel Pink. He discusses on who actually rules the future, and it's fascinating. Of course, I'm biased because he says that right-brainers will rule the future, which means I play a part in creating such a future, since I'm a big-time right-brainer. Idea number 2. Get a passport. Travel the world as I did. As an American, I learned that everything I was taught in public school and the university was a big, fat lie. The world is not what I was told. In fact, there's nothing to fear. People in general are good, and weapons of mass destruction in America is an American construct that was fabricated to keep our minds incarcerated with fear of the unknown. In this case, to keep us afraid of the rest of the world. Americans not having passports is by design. If you ever leave your house, do you really know what's going on outside? You don't. Idea number 3. Send your kids to summer exchange programs. No better way to ensure the survival of the next generation by sending our kids to study abroad for a few months. This will show them the real and true world and how it works outside the United States. Americans, passports, and future without borders is a hot topic these days, especially due to our current political climate. Nevertheless, it's worth chatting about and having coffee over it. These conversations are worth sharing and can help us prepare for the radical shift in ideas and in the way we've been taught to perceive the world. It goes without saying that Americans can learn a lot from the rest of the world, and it is my belief that the world is ready for Americans to learn about what is really going on globally and how we can act locally to improve our global stakes in the foreseeable future.